inflation rate that is just hitting a new heights in this matured economy. It's also strengthening their equity market, and also what is happening with in Russia is also giving a breathing space. You can see that yesterday we saw oil price trying to rebound, but to speak now, there's a pullback in oil price again in international market. But these are what is influencing the global market generally, and I'll tell you, many matured markets are still bleeding as we speak. The sell-off, that is ongoing is still there as we speak now, because many of them are selling off to look for how to protect their hard-earned money, and some of them are going to cash because even going into bond, they are very skeptical to go into bond at this point. Most of them are holding cash to watch. You see that those stocks that are still also producing good numbers in this material market, they are not doing badly, but because of other sectors are pulling back, that's why it's not reflecting now. But I tell you, as we're learning here, most of them also are also learning to invest wisely in that market. Make sure that they are into the those sectors and also those stronger stocks that they can use also to edge against inflation in that market. Because I will tell you, the inflation rate there is something alarming, and that is why this rate hike that have come to those matured markets, but here we are still not adjusted, has come to stay because they need to manage their inflation. And that also will tell you that in that matured market now to speak now, with we're seeing a hike in their interest rate, automatically it's telling you that we expect that the financial service or sector in that market we also expect to see a kind of a breakout with this, because this will impact their own number in that market. That's why I said it here that if anytime we decide to adjust our rate, especially I'm considering that we can do that back here as from the second half of the year. That if that happens, that time you see that the banking numbers also going to improve for the rest of the year. But we're seeing that most of the banks are very resilient as we speak now, because their numbers are very, very positive despite their marginal growth in their bottom line. We can see that most of them, some of them have a good growth in their top line. Tells you that they are still going to new market, into other people market in that industry. Who tells that those companies are well run and well managed in that banking setup. Yes, back home here, I would say that this is the time for us as investors to look at some figures and also look at what is happening in the market here. I will tell you that as the continue Ukraine war and the Russia issue continue to take dominance in the in the global market, also driving volatility in that regard. That also impacted global economy, trying to as many people are forecasting negativity in terms of a recession and all those coming. But I will tell you that what is happening, as I said earlier, inflation rate that we are seeing that is looking up is just because of what all the commodity price has been influenced by what is going on in Ukraine and Russia, and that has been a major concern to many world investors in the market. But I believe that the tightening of policy by central bank of this world of this climate is also a way of trying to control the inflation. That is what I know I've said earlier. But if you come back here, I'll tell you that our market are rebound fully. Yesterday when we saw what happened, that the life of XL when they release their number and see the demand for the Dangote and MTN, you see how they change the market to cross above the 52,000 mark. This is the first time we're seeing it. That at just quick a day, market has gained about almost 2% for a day. It's a good one. Tells that there is still strong demand for this type of stuff, and as they are going up, they're going to push the market up. And that is why I tell investors, don't be greedy. Always use your stop loss and also be guided with your investment goal and objective, so that you can stay on top of your game. As we speak now, I will tell you in the last 6 to 7 trading section, market has gained even over 1 trillion. That means wealth have been created for investors that are really designed and know what they are doing in the market. And also, if you look at the kind of figure that were released by the Bureau of Statistics yesterday, they are not giving us the Q1 GDP for 2022, but as all eyes are in that figure. But the one they released, it says that the Nigeria economy has sustained its positive GDP growth in Q3 and Q4 2021. That is good for us. But I believe that most investors like you and I, our eye is to see the Q1 2022 GDP and also the April inflation figure to guide our investment decision. But I believe that when these figures come, going to give us the state of the economy and where we are heading. But I believe that for those that are in this class, I've said it earlier, because of what? Because of the impressive performance we saw in the life of all those companies that are listed on the exchange, those numbers that might have given us insight that we're likely to see positive GDP. And I'll tell you that we're seeing expansion in the telecoms industry and also in the agriculture sector. And these are the sectors that really, impact positive on our GDP. If they are doing well, we expect the GDP to look up. Can see what is happening in my first sector. Can see the result that came from the cement manufacturing and others, even from the healthcare, even from although from the consumer goods. Tell you that these are the things, even to the bank, these are going to also impact the GDP. But in this volatility, what should investors do? I know that there are many questions in your mind now. What should we do, even as market is gyrating, and what can we do here locally to trade profitably? The first thing you should do is that I always say that the first thing here is that build a watch list of your stocks. That is, if you know you are entering a new one, choose your stock list with your what, with your fundamental, and also use your technical to trade them. But if you're already in the market, because I'm speaking, and most of us are in the market because I was saying, if you look at your portfolio, check your portfolio, pick your stocks so that you're able to see the stock you have, put them, in a place that you can have access to easily look at what you have and know whether you are to buy or to sell. Because even though the market is going and you are in the wrong stock, those stocks will not easily go with the market. Then when you put your stock in a watch list, it becomes easier and quicker for you to work, to have an eye look, to watch, to analyze your position and know whether you are to sell down or to keep holding or to see whether you sell your lost position. These are what to do at this point. The second point I did, take kind of a look at the chart of the stocks you have or of your watch list to see if there's opportunity in those charts to still go up, or because a lot of people that chart or draft or graph don't lie. It's not like number. When you look at the chart, it will tell you the pattern, the behavioral attitude of people in the market. That chart will help you to know where to look at. That's why look at the price action, look at what the earnings of these companies, look at also what the sentiment behind the stock. If the earnings of the company is increasing and the company is making money, you know what to do with the company. But if the company is losing money and the earnings are reviewed, you know what to do. That's why you need to take the chart and look at the chart and look at the earnings to see where the company is going. Especially now that our market is riding this strong bullish sentiment. You can see that even this morning, you can see activities of the market, what is happening. That's why I've just bring out this chart for us to also to watch. But we're coming to the chart first. But let's look at it together. But as you speak now, so the next thing that you should do, now you have known the company that are making loss or making money, you know what to do with them, especially using the chart to know the position. Then the next one there is, I tell you that selling your stock or taking profit is not a crime. I know that it's not a fun, but I tell you, when you are having a losing position, a market is going on, and you are just seeing market going up, look at that your portfolio to see if it is time for you to sell that losing position, especially if you know that nothing will drive that price in the nearest time. Especially at this period of the market, that you can sell off that loss position you have, and those stocks that are declining in your portfolio that are not giving you return, and want to move into into a new one. That is why if you have a watch list, you can easily know what is happening in your stock. But when you don't have a watch list, of what you don't know exactly. That's why also like that you need to up your game in technical analysis. Once you're able to take that decision to sell, as you are selling, you are cleaning up those that are not generating return for you. And also once you have sold, what you need is that you need to enter good position to make sure that your capital that you lost is recouped easily, and at the same time, what kind of stock you should buy. And that is time after you have sold up, the next is that you need to check the direction of the market. Check the direction of the market is very, very important because you remember I've said it in most of my class that market direction has almost 50 percent influence on price movement. You need to know where is the direction of the market before you know how to jump into position. Once you know the general direction of the market, you can know what is influencing prices at that time, and those stocks that are moving with the market. These are the things you also need to know because I tell you, market direction is the most important factor you need to know or to consider when you want to buy into stock. You need to know where either the sector is going or where it's happening in the general market. These are the things to know. The last one that is very important also you should consider when you are market is volatile like this or it's rather like this, what you need to do, you need to buy into safe company. When I mean safe company that has what good fundamentals and especially on the value stocks that are rising in price. As a rising in price at this time, also their earnings are also rising. Not only their earnings, volume traded in that company is also rising. Then also positive sentiment and technical chart pattern to confirm because you must see a positive sentiment and also a positive chart pattern to see that this stock is going somewhere. This is what we should do in this period as to navigate this bull run we are seeing in the market at this hour. It's very, very important. Don't take it for granted or for joke. You need to understand how to navigate. These 4 points I've given to you now, it should also guide you in your market decision or in your trading this hour. Then we want to look at the market news before we go into looking at the state of the market. The market news I speak now, Presco has notified the exchange of related 2021 and Q1 numbers. Then telling them that they're likely to also publish this number on or before 17th or 18th of May 20. That means in this month, probably that should be next week. For me, I think you can see what is happening in that sector, what is happening to Komu and Presco as we speak now. You should also tell, I believe those that have attended my master class, that was one-on-one, even our question and answer, call, I'll tell you about this stuff. You can see what is happening in that sector to Komu, and we believe that with time, if things will improve for livestock, but for now, livestock will see where it is. Also, another information that came to the market is the CAP updating about the company AGM, and also the bonus dividend and the share cancellation from, because those companies, most of them that according to what they can't have required them that before the end of the year, some of them that have they are on issue shares, they're likely some are planning to cancel them. That like the life of WAPCO and the Transcorp, I accept this one, they are planning to cancel their own. That means they are not combining to bonus. Why we're expecting for like Presco as a kind of intimidator or kind of give us a signal kind of that they're likely to convert that their excess what we call unusual, so let me unusual shares to bonus. If that happens, the price of Presco will still go further high. These are the market news as to speak. But I will tell you the state of the market. The market is really positive. Market have crossed also 53,000 mark as to speak, gaining almost 0.41% this morning. This is good, and market is having about 218 points up as we speak. This tells that market is good, and the good thing again is that this market is really moving up and up every day. And ask yourself, those fundamentals, those factors driving this market have remained intact. That is the good thing that's happening in the market. They've not changed. If they not change, you now know which sector you want to position. Like I always say that each stock, each sector, has the time of their own movement. They have different characteristics, and each time they move in different times. For that, don't think that because this stock is going to do no. But what to know that there is always a sector or industry that lead what that lead bull or bear. As we speak now, I said the telecom industry is one leading the bull now, as we can see. Tell you that that sector is what also we know why that sector is doing that now. We can see a lot of potential in that sector, and what is going to support their cash flow, and that cash flow is what to support their earnings. If you see what happened in Airtel, we have seen it earlier, MTN result, but Airtel to give you a kind of direction. Look at Airtel bottom line. The bottom line was about 82% up from about 415 million dollar to about 755 million dollars, representing about almost 82. But if you go down look at the company operating cash flow, it's very, very key, because when a company operating cash flow is looking up and the bottom line earnings is looking up, tells that there's stability. But when earnings is looking up and cash flow is looking down, I'll tell you that stability of that earnings is not guaranteed. But you can see what is happening. Also, you can see that this sector, they are having more things that are going to impact their bottom line, their cash flow, sorry, and that cash flow will also support what the bottom line, the earnings at the end of the day. That's why we are seeing them leading. You can see also what is happening, in Dangote and all those, because that's what's also happening in WAPCO. And let's say that WAPCO is closely on the price. You can see what is happening in WAPCO, and I believe all that that participate in the you can see always how I emphasize on WAPCO. You can see what WAPCO is doing today now. That is why you should see a stock we are going to identify, that's undervalued on time and start buying it before the market come to know that is how to invest. You don't wait until price is already rallying to the top before you. But that is why also you look at your 2 weeks high and low. But when a company is kind of extending, kind of breaking out the 2 weeks high up, and there's factor driving it, you won't be afraid for that, but always set your target and also watch your technical analysis, tell you where the momentum is weak and you know when to take profit as at when you can see that the state of the market for me is very positive this morning and green. As we speak now, if you look at the market bread, is still slightly non-positive, because we're having 25 gainers and almost 24 losers as we speak in this market. But the top gainers, on the chart now speak is Eternal Oil, followed by Michael this Nicholas Industry, and the GSK, WAPCO, and International Brewery. These are the 5 top. Then in that category, we still have a Presco, we have a Food, and even Flour Mill. Others only where they are also gaining in that GSK, in that category tells you that these are the top ones, but these are other ones that I believe that at this noon, at this hour, that the market is in green. But if you look at the losers chart, I said there are 24, but the top five losers as speak now is Jai, is followed by Linkage Assurance. We have also the Keja Hotel, and the Champion Brewery and Nyko. Champion Brewery were not surprised, even ticket assurance, profit taking, and also for that is why you said you can see that the market bet is slightly positive because 12.25 dinner people are already taking profit. That is why I tell you that you always know how to take profit in the market. But if you look at the top trade in terms of volume, which I always say that volume is very, very important. As we speak, Transcorp is leading in terms of volume traded at this hour, followed by FBNH, Zenith Bank, WAPCO, and GSK. You can see that the demand of this stock are telling that where they are going, in price, and the performance of this company, apart from the LBNH that we have not seen the result, but for that of Transcorp, WAPCO, GSK, and the Zenith Bank, we have seen improved performance in their Q1. That is what is driving these stocks as we speak. Like for example, that if you look at what happened yesterday, even at the Treasury bill option yesterday, you can see that the long call, which is the 364 days rate, drop marginally. And also, like I said in one of the class, that we are not seeing the body language of the MPC or CBN monetary policy team, adjusting rate in their next MPC might be well. But if they do, like I said, they use like 25 points to increase, that would go about 11.75. Fine. But as we speak now, we have not seen that. But if we are seeing rate declining in the fixed income market, that also will be kind of a plus for the market. As far as we are seeing that the earnings yield in the equity market continue to improve and looking higher, that is what is also supporting the market as we speak now. Quick one, I want to look at what is happening in the market technically. But I would like us to look at what is happening in Presco, what is happening in Flower May. We can chart Etana, look at GSK again. Then WAPCO is very, very important. Look at this stuff to see what is happening there. These gainers then will not come to see how far you can see this linkage can go down, and for them to find support level, you can see that this stock linkage has given investor in and out position. Then another one can still look again is let's see what is happening in Zenith. Is Zenith trying to bounce back, and that of Transcorp. These are the ones we are going to look at technically to see their position technically. But first of all, look at the general market as we speak. You can remember this our T line, the blue line you are seeing here. It's very, very important whenever you are charting. Look at it because it will give you a lot of information of what is happening in the market. You can see that the market has been trending above the T line all this while. Apart from day for yesterday, the market pullback. You can see little profit taking MTN. You can see that it has continued the uptrend. And if you come down here and look, volume is also coming up at this hour. It's possible that volume move above the average traded volume for today, like what we saw yesterday. We saw improved volume when the market gained almost 2%. Today also you can see that the momentum indicators, when you look at MACD, you can see that it's in kind of weakness. The momentum and the price index action are moving in the same direction. You can see money flow on the chart. Is a good one. And don't forget that after market have kind of consolidated at this situation, it break out. The same thing here, it break out. Here, it break out. You can see that market is climbing step by step up. That something is happening in the market. People, let's look at the 1 hour chart for the market, because that has a way of giving us information. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that market is still very, very strong above the T line. You can see your MACD, but one thing I noticed here that MACD can see that it started coming down on our chart. It's also a sign that profit taking activity is underway. But need to also be careful, don't be carried away with the rally. Once you hit your target exit, that's what I say. You can also see here the money flow is forming double bottom here and here. You can see here and here. This is a double bottom. It's trying for you. Once it goes up again, there I can see that gradually it's turning up on the 1 hour chart. Now there to form also. If I want to speak, they both on our chart and a day chart, the technicals are looking very good. Quick one, we want to look at what is happening in Boa Cement, Boa Food. We saw it lost the previous day. Today it's getting back. Let's see what is happening in that Boa Food as we speak. Let's see what is happening in the Boa Food this hour. Let's see what is happening to that stock at this moment. Look at what is happening to Boa Food. I will tell you, Boa Food is still not looking good on our chart. We need to watch until it cross out the T line, but we'll go back to see the daily chart. I will tell you it's not looking good at this moment. Despite trying to rebound, you can see that the money flow I've shown you that it's trying to look up, but the other technicals, the candlestick is not looking good because it's trading below what the T line. But we'll look at the 1 hour chart to confirm where the stock is going at this hour for us to know. Even on a day chart, it's still not looking too good, but you can see sign of rebound. You can see it went up but came down. You can see the week up here but still down at this moment. Let's still watch this stock. Money flow is looking down, and MACD is also looking down. For me, it's not a good sign for the stock at this hour. Let's quickly look at what is happening in Presco and what can we do with that stock this morning. Can we still hold our position? Can we start running at this hour with our ourselves now? Let's see what is happening in Presco. Let's see what is happening in the stock now. No, let's see what is happening. You can see the price performance, and also this stock is already trading almost at 200 naira. As we speak now, it's trading at no 90 at 190 199.90. That's at almost 200 naira at this hour. It's a good one, and you can look all the indicators here, momentum indicators, they are positive for the stock. And the good thing again is that look at the gap between the candle, the price action, and the and the T line. It's a sign of also that you start taking profit gradually in this stock. Don't be greedy. But when I tell you that you see that the price action is far from the T line, it's a sign that it's a time for you to take profit. You can see that money flow is turning up good, fine, while the MACD is positive and becoming stronger. Let's quickly look at our 15 minutes chart on this stock so we can see what we can do with this. So let me see. But I've seen a sign the more, yeah, on a 15 minute chart, it's good to take profit in this stock. You can see sign already. It's good to take profit. Yes, we're expecting the result to be in the market, but it's good to take profit at this hour. Take profit at this hour is very, very important. You need to take profit, and when you take profit at this kind of market stock, it tells you what is happening in the stock. Once you know what is happening, you don't need to work to panic, but you need to take your profit gradually as the stock is going up. Because I know that with the result expectation to hit the market, if that happens, that tells you that this stock is going what is going far. No, but for those that have entered early, not necessarily to take your profit slowly. But you can see on this 15 minute chart, you can see what MACD is saying. You can look at it here. There's already a divergence already when you look at what the price action, and then nothing stops you for taking profit in this stock. No, don't be greedy. Yes, you can see. Let's go back to 1 hour chart again. We have done the 15 minute chart, fine. On 1 hour chart, very strong, positive, but I will tell you, don't be greedy in this stock. Take your profit as and when you can see on a day chart, very, very strong. What is happening in GSK? What is happening in GSK is very, very important. So let's look at what is happening in GSK. That will give us a clue also to see where that stock is going. Again, if you know that no GSK also, where is it going from here? Once you certain that, it becomes easier for you also to know what you are doing. You can see on a a day chart. Yes, we have seen it trading above almost as speak now around 8 naira. You can see now around 8 naira at this hour, but you have to also be very, very careful. You can see this time between the key line and this stock have broken all the recent resistance level powerfully and on the uptrend. So watch what is happening. You can take your profits only on this. Let me look at 15 minutes chart on this stock to see what to do so that as an investor or trader, you can see. Yeah, on a 15 minute chart, I will tell you start also taking profit gradually in this stock if you are taking position. Yes, for now, you can still turn up, but MACD is positive on this line. Our money flow is very, very low in this stock at this time frame. Let's go back to the day chart and see what is doing positive on our chart, also positive on our chart. Quick one, let's look at what is happening in international brewery before we look at the Transcorp and the linkage assurance to call the class a day for today. Oh, there's still time. We can also look at flour mill there. Let's look at what is happening in international brewery as we speak. International brewery, what is happening there? What is happening international brewery? Let's see what is happening international brewery and see what we can of that position? Is it time to start also running out of that position at this moment? You ask yourself, is it time to start taking position too? You ask yourself, uh, yes, let's look at flower May at this hour. Flower May is just starting. You can see still trending up. You can see flower May on a 1 hour chart is very, very positive. I would say in this position, hold your flower May. It's already heading towards 40 naira. Hold your position. This stock is going far the way it's moving now. You can see the position where it's going. International Brewery is sorry, Flower May is moving up as we speak now. You can see that the money flow is positive. All the momentum indicators are positive. We're also seeing improved volume already on a 1 hour chart here. That is a good one for the stock. And on 1 hour chart is very, very positive, and the candlestick is strong. And this is a company that we're also looking forward to see their full year result, because March 31st, the end of the financial year for this stock. We have seen the life of know, Airtel that belong to that financial year end group. You can see the result and also the performance. And also on a day chart, positive. You can see that this stock is already forming a what we call a saucer here, and that is a good sign that broken out the last resistance level around 35 has been broken out already. You can see, and the journey is still ongoing. And MACD is positive, money flow is still looking up above 85. For me, it's a good one for Flower May. This is a good one, really, for Flower May. It's a good one. Let's quickly check transport before we draw the curtain, because our time is far spent. Let's look at what is happening in transport. Transport, what are you doing in transport? You can equally look at what is happening in transport. Transport on a day chart, you can see this long candlestick. It's a stock that is, I will tell you, this stock, as we speak now, look at this price of the stock. This transport that I said that when it touched 1 naira, 1 kobo, 90 kobo, people were calling. You can see after the stock have kind of consolidated at this point, it break out the new, you can see that now that tested almost the same 130. Yeah, a breakout of this top double top that is forming here now will be a strong level. But they have tested it. You can see that it's turning down gradually. But let's watch. But I will tell you, this is a good candlestick formation chart pattern. Also, you can see this already what we call inverted head and shoulder. You can see here, here, and here already. And this support and uptrend. This what we call inverted head and shoulder in technical analysis. You can see here, see here, see here for this stuff. For me, it's a good one for transport. It's a good one, and also it's still above the T line, and this is good. It tell you where the stock is going. Money flow is looking up. You can see above 70. You can see your MACD was before trying to change